Have you ever met someone who made the whole room feel different just by being in it? Not because of what they said or did, but because of how your heart reacted when they were near. It's that quiet magnetic pull, subtle yet undeniable, that makes you feel both calm and alive at the same time. You can't explain it logically, but you know something deep inside you shifts whenever he's around. His presence feels familiar, almost like your souls have known each other long before your eyes ever met. That's not coincidence. That's connection. And when it's real, it changes everything. Love, when it's genuine, doesn't always begin with words or confessions. It begins with energy, attention, and the small ways two people move around each other's worlds. You notice it in the way he looks at you when you're not watching, the way he remembers the smallest things you say, or how his energy subtly mirrors yours. You don't have to ask for effort. It's already there, naturally woven into everything he does. His love isn't loud. It's steady. It shows up not to impress, but to stay. Psychologists say that when we connect deeply with someone, our minds begin to synchronize, our emotions align, our bodies react in rhythm, and our sense of safety expands. That's why being around him doesn't feel like excitement alone. It feels like home. Real love has that effect. It calms the noise while setting the heart on fire. It's not about butterflies or chaos. It's about belonging. And when a man truly loves you, his actions reveal it long before his words catch up. He doesn't just promise to care, he proves it in 1,000 quiet ways. Through the way he listens like your words matter most, the way he protects your feelings without being asked, or the way he gives you space yet never drifts too far. His love becomes visible in gestures, simple, consistent, and full of intention. And it's in those everyday moments where the truth of his heart lives, not in the grand declarations, but in the soft human ones. In this video, we'll uncover 12 moves that make him realize you're his true love, not through fantasy, but through psychology, emotion, and real human connection. Each sign reveals how love expresses itself in behavior, how the mind and heart communicate beyond words, and how a man's actions often confess what his lips are too afraid to say. Because at the end of the day, true love isn't about saying I love you the most. It's about showing it in loyalty and patience in presence. So as you listen, don't just think of these as signs to look for. Think of them as reflections of what real love feels like when it finally finds you. Calm, deep, and quietly undeniable. His eyes reveal what his heart hides. They say the eyes never lie. And in love, they're often the first to tell the truth long before words do. When a man truly loves you, his eyes carry emotions he can't put into sentences. It's not just the way he looks at you, but how he looks at you. His gaze lingers a little longer, softer, more intentional. It's as if he's studying every detail of your face, trying to memorize it without even realizing. When he looks at you, there's a quiet intensity, the kind that feels like time slows down for a few seconds. Psychologists call this emotional fixation, where the eyes naturally seek out the person who holds the heart's focus. When someone is in love, their brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, the bonding and pleasure chemicals, and these heighten eye contact. That's why when he looks into your eyes, you might feel something electric, something deeply human and raw. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. His eyes speak the language his lips are too afraid to form. You'll notice that even in a crowd, his eyes find you first. It's almost subconscious. He checks if you're comfortable, if you're smiling, if someone said something that might have hurt you. His eyes track your emotions like they're his own mirror, and that's the most honest form of affection. He might glance away quickly, trying not to get caught, but that brief connection, that flicker of awareness, is everything. It's his soul showing through the smallest window he has. Love expressed through the eyes is gentle but undeniable. It carries warmth, protection, curiosity, and a kind of awe that words can't match. Even in silence, his gaze tells you, I see you, I feel you, you matter to me. That's the moment when you realize he doesn't need to confess anything. His eyes already did. Because when the heart is full, it speaks through the eyes long before the mouth dares to follow. He remembers the smallest things about you. When a man truly cares about you, he pays attention to things most people would never notice. It's not just about remembering your birthday or your favorite color. It's the tiny, almost invisible details that stick with him. Maybe he remembers how you take your coffee, the song you hum when you're nervous, or the way you push your hair behind your ear when you're thinking. He remembers not because he's trying to impress you, but because to him you matter. Every small detail becomes part of the quiet world he builds around you in his mind. Psychologists call this selective emotional memory, a phenomenon where our brain prioritizes information linked to strong feelings. When love or admiration is involved, attention naturally sharpens. He doesn't have to try to remember. He just does. Every small thing you say leaves a subtle emotional imprint, like notes in a song he can't stop replaying. You might be surprised when he brings up something you said weeks ago, a random comment about your favorite childhood movie, a place you mentioned wanting to visit, or even how you prefer silence over small talk. That's love expressed through attentiveness. He listens not to reply but to understand. It's his way of saying, I see you fully, and what matters to you matters to me. In a world where most people forget what doesn't concern them, a man who remembers the smallest things about you stands apart. His memory becomes a quiet act of devotion. Every detail he holds onto is proof that he's emotionally present, tuned into your essence. It's not grand gestures that reveal real love. It's the subtle, consistent awareness of who you are. When someone remembers your smallest details, they're not just recalling facts, they're holding on to pieces of you. And when a man does that, it's because somewhere deep in his heart, he knows those pieces mean more to him than he's ready to say out loud. His energy changes when you're around. When you walk into the room, something in the air subtly shifts, and though he might not say a word, his energy does. It's in the way his posture straightens, the way his tone softens, or how his laughter suddenly becomes more genuine. It's like his entire being becomes more alive, more alert, as if his mind and heart instantly tune into your presence. This isn't coincidence. It's connection. Psychologists call this emotional resonance, the phenomenon where two people unconsciously synchronize their emotional states. When he's drawn to you, his body reacts naturally. His heartbeat may quicken, his breathing may change, even his pupils might dilate. These are involuntary signs that his nervous system recognizes you as someone who matters. You don't have to touch him or speak to him for it to happen. Your presence alone is enough to shift his energy. You might notice that he becomes more expressive around you, more focused, more thoughtful. Maybe he teases a little more, smiles a little longer, or seems calmer just being near you. Even in a group, he's subtly attuned to you, reacting to your laughter, glancing in your direction, mirroring your movements without realizing it. That's not just attraction, it's subconscious alignment. His energy rises because being near you feels emotionally safe and exciting all at once. Love, at its core, is an energetic exchange, two people's emotions blending without needing permission. When he truly feels something for you, you'll sense it before he says a word. It's the way the atmosphere shifts, lighter, warmer, charged with something unspoken. You can't fake that kind of chemistry. It's a natural response born from genuine connection. So if his energy changes every time you're near, take it as a silent confession. His heart might not be ready to say it, but his entire presence already has. Because sometimes love doesn't need grand gestures or declarations. It only needs a shared moment where both souls quietly recognize each other's light. He protects your feelings without being asked. When a man genuinely loves you, his care shows up in the quiet ways he protects your feelings, without you ever having to ask. It's not dramatic or loud. It's thoughtful and instinctive. He pays attention to the tone of his words, to the timing of his jokes, to the sensitivity in his responses. Even when he disagrees with you, he does it gently. He doesn't mock, dismiss, or try to win. He tries to understand. Because when someone truly values you, they don't want to be right. They want to be kind. Psychologists describe this as empathic attunement, the ability to sense another person's emotional state and adjust one's behavior accordingly. It's a trait of emotionally intelligent love. When he's attuned to your emotions, he naturally wants to shield you from unnecessary pain. If he senses you're tired, he gives you space. If you're hurt, he softens. If he sees someone speaking to you harshly, he subtly steps in, redirecting the moment without making it awkward. He becomes your quiet emotional buffer, protecting your peace without ever making it about him. You'll notice it in the smallest things. The way he changes the subject when he senses discomfort. The way he listens when you're venting instead of trying to fix everything. The way his tone shifts when he senses you're upset. His protection isn't about control, it's about care. He's not trying to shield you from the world, but from the moments that might bruise your heart. True love isn't loud. It's gentle. It's in restraint, not reaction. A man who loves you doesn't just avoid hurting you. He becomes intentional about helping you feel safe, respected, and valued. And the beauty of it is that he doesn't need recognition for it. His kindness isn't performance, it's instinct. Because when a man's heart belongs to you, your feelings become part of his world, and protecting them becomes his quiet way of saying, "You matter more than my pride." He listens like your words matter most. When a man truly loves you, the way he listens becomes one of the clearest signs. He doesn't just hear your words, he absorbs them. His attention isn't distracted, his eyes don't wander, and he doesn't rush you to finish. Instead, he leans in slightly. His posture softens and his focus narrows until it feels like, in that moment, you're the only voice that exists in the world. It's a rare kind of presence. The kind that makes you feel safe to speak, safe to be honest, safe to be yourself. Psychologists describe this as active emotional listening, a form of empathy where the listener engages not only with what's being said, but with the emotion behind it. When a man listens like that, he's not trying to fix you or offer quick solutions. He's trying to understand what's underneath your words, the tone, the pauses, the feelings you don't say aloud. He listens because your thoughts matter to him, not because he's waiting for his turn to talk. You'll notice the difference in how he remembers the things you share. Maybe you once mentioned a bad experience, a fear, or a small dream, and later he brings it up with care, remembering the emotion attached to it. That's how you know he's not listening out of politeness but out of connection. To him, every conversation is a chance to know you better, to step a little closer to your inner world. True love pays attention. When he listens with his whole self, eyes, mind, and heart, he's saying, "What you feel matters to me." It's not about grand words or perfect advice. It's about presence. Because love isn't always shown in what we say. Sometimes it's in the quiet way someone listens, the stillness between words, and the unspoken message that says, "I hear you, I see you, and I care." He finds reasons to be near you. When a man has real feelings for you, he'll always find reasons, small or subtle, to be near you. It's rarely obvious. It's in the way he appears when you least expect it or volunteers to help with something simple. Maybe he shows up early to group plans, offers to walk you out, or lingers a little longer after everyone's gone. His presence starts to feel like a pattern, and it's never by accident. He just wants to be where you are, to exist in the same space even if no words are exchanged. Psychologists refer to this as proximity seeking, a natural behavior driven by emotional attachment. When someone cares deeply, their brain associates the person they love with comfort and happiness, prompting them to stay physically or emotionally close. It's the same instinct that makes people miss someone after only a short absence. The bond itself creates a quiet pull. You'll notice that he doesn't need big reasons to see you. Maybe he asks for your opinion on something small, casually drops by with an excuse, or joins an event he wouldn't normally attend, all just to share a moment with you. And even when you talk, he's in no rush to leave. His time with you doesn't feel like a task. It feels like a choice. Every minute near you seems to ground him, calm him, or spark a kind of joy he can't find elsewhere. The truth is, people naturally gravitate toward where their heart feels at peace. So when a man's energy keeps bringing him back to you, it's not coincidence, and it's emotion. He might not have said the words yet, but his actions speak with quiet honesty. Being near you makes his world feel right. And sometimes love isn't declared in grand speeches. It's revealed in the soft, consistent pull of someone who simply can't stay away. He supports you quietly. When you're struggling, when a man truly loves you, he doesn't always show it through grand gestures or dramatic word. Often, his love appears quietly when you're struggling. He might not always know what to say, but he knows how to be there. He senses when something's off, even if you don't tell him directly. Maybe your voice sounds a little different, or your smile doesn't reach your eyes. Instead of pressing for details, he simply offers presence, a check-in message, a warm look, or a calm silence beside you that feels safer than any advice. Psychologists call this empathetic support, a deep emotional awareness where someone tunes into your inner state and adjusts their behavior to comfort you. It's love without performance, pure, steady, and grounded. When he supports you quietly, it's because he understands that comfort isn't always about fixing things. Sometimes it's just about standing beside someone so they don't feel alone in the storm. You'll see it in subtle ways. He'll take care of small things without drawing attention to them. Maybe he handles a task you're too tired to do, brings you something that makes you feel better, or simply stays on the phone longer so you don't have to sit in silence by yourself. He doesn't make it about him, doesn't expect gratitude or recognition. His care is gentle, consistent, and selfless. This kind of love doesn't demand to be noticed, it simply exists. When he supports you quietly, it's his way of saying, you don't have to be strong alone. And in those quiet moments, when words fall short and presence becomes everything, you'll see the truth of his heart. Because the purest love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, I'm here. 8. He opens up in unexpected moments. When a man truly cares about you, his vulnerability doesn't come on command. It slips out in quiet, unexpected moments. Maybe it's during a late-night conversation, a long drive, or when he's feeling safe in your presence. He starts sharing things he usually keeps guarded. His fears, his regrets, his past, his dreams. These are not rehearsed confessions. They're spontaneous openings that reveal his trust in you. A man doesn't open up easily unless he feels emotionally secure. And if he's doing it with you, it's because your presence makes him feel seen, not judged. Psychologists refer to this as emotional disclosure, a process where someone allows their inner world to be witnessed by another person. For men, this is often a sign of deep emotional connection, because many are conditioned to hide their softer sides. When he lets that guard down, it means he's no longer trying to impress you. He's trying to connect with you. He wants you to know him beyond the surface, beyond the confidence and calm he shows the world. You'll notice that these moments aren't planned. They happen between laughs and pauses or when he's reflecting on something small. Maybe he tells you about a family memory, a failure that still lingers, or a fear he never shared before. In that moment, the walls fall away and what's left is pure honesty. He may even look away while speaking, afraid to meet your eyes, not because of shame, but because the truth makes him feel exposed. When a man opens up to you like that, don't underestimate the weight of it. He's offering something precious, his unfiltered self. Love, after all, isn't just about attraction, it's about safety. And when a man chooses to be emotionally naked in front of you, it's not weakness. It's his heart quietly saying, I trust you with who I really am. He respects your space yet stays emotionally present. When a man's love is genuine, he doesn't try to control your time or your emotions, he respects your independence. He understands that love isn't about constant presence, but about trusting the connection even in distance. He gives you room to breathe, to grow, and to be yourself, yet somehow he still feels close. That balance, a space without disconnection, is one of the most beautiful signs of emotional maturity and love. Psychologists call this secure attachment, the ability to stay emotionally connected without needing constant reassurance. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't panic when you need time alone. He doesn't interpret your silence as rejection or your independence as distance. Instead, he honors it because he knows that love built on freedom is stronger than love built on control. You'll notice that even when he gives you space, he never disappears emotionally. He checks in softly, maybe a small message, a thoughtful gesture, or a quiet question that shows he's still there, still tuned in. He respects your boundaries, but he doesn't detach. His energy remains steady and comforting. He's the kind of man who understands that being supportive doesn't always mean being present in person. Sometimes it means holding space for you with patience and trust. This kind of respect is rare because it comes from confidence, not insecurity. It's the understanding that love doesn't fade when you're apart. It breathes, it expands. He gives you the space to return to yourself because he knows you'll come back stronger. And when you do, he's there, unchanged, grounded, waiting with warmth instead of guilt. That's real love. Not clingy, not demanding, but rooted in trust. It says, I'm here even when you're not. Because the right man doesn't need to chase your presence, he cherishes your peace, knowing that in that peace your love for him quietly grows deeper. He mirrors your emotions. Without realizing it, when a man's feelings for you are genuine, his emotions begin to align with yours, almost like a mirror. He may not even realize it's happening, but you'll notice that when you're happy, he seems lighter. And when you're sad, his energy subtly drops. This isn't imitation. It's connection. His mind and body are responding naturally to yours, reflecting your emotional state as if your hearts are quietly in sync. Psychologists call this emotional mirroring or empathic synchronization. A subconscious process where one person mirrors another's expressions, tone, and mood to create emotional harmony. It's the brain's way of bonding. When a man truly cares about you, his empathy heightens and his nervous system begins to echo yours. If you're anxious, he becomes calmer to steady you. If you're joyful, he smiles without knowing why. It's love showing itself through rhythm rather than words. You might notice it in the smallest details. He laughs when you laugh, even if he didn't catch the joke. His tone softens to match yours. When you cross your arms or lean in, he often does too. These are not rehearsed gestures where they're instinctive, emotional reflections. It's his body's way of saying, I'm with you. I feel what you feel. What makes this so powerful is that it reveals emotional safety. He's not mirroring to impress you. He's aligning because his heart trusts you enough to drop its guard. This synchronization builds intimacy at a level that words can't reach. You start to sense each other's moods, complete each other's sentences, or share silent moments that feel full. When a man mirrors your emotions without realizing it, it's proof that love has quietly woven its thread between you. His empathy becomes your reflection, not out of effort but out of connection. And that's when you know it's real. When his heart starts speaking the same emotional language as yours, without either of you needing to say a single word. He sees your flaws but loves you deeper. Because of them, when a man's love for you is genuine, it's not because he sees you as perfect, and it's because he sees everything and chooses you anyway. He notices your flaws, your insecurities, your bad days, and the little habits you try to hide. But instead of pulling away, he draws closer. To him, your imperfections aren't weaknesses. They're proof that you're real, human, and beautifully authentic. Love like that isn't blind. It sees clearly and loves even deeper because of what it sees. Psychologists refer to this as unconditional positive regard, a term coined by Carl Rogers. It's the ability to love and accept someone without trying to change or fix them. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't focus on smoothing out your rough edges. He appreciates them because they tell your story. He understands that vulnerability and imperfection are what make emotional intimacy possible. You might notice that when you reveal something about yourself, a mistake, a fear or a scar from your past, and he doesn't flinch. He listens. He might even smile softly, not out of pity but out of recognition. Because in those moments your walls drop and he sees the raw, unfiltered version of you, and that's the version he's most drawn to. True love isn't about idolizing someone's strengths. It's about cherishing their wholeness, the light and the shadow together. A man who truly loves you doesn't put you on a pedestal. He stands beside you. He knows that your imperfections don't make you less lovable. They make you uniquely yours. In a world obsessed with perfection, finding someone who loves your flaws as much as your beauty is rare. But that's how real love works when it doesn't demand you to be flawless. It simply whispers, you don't have to be perfect for me to love you completely. 12. His love shows in actions, not promises. When a man truly loves you, you don't have to rely on his promises to know it. You'll see it in what he does. His love doesn't live in words. It breathes through consistency, care, and quiet effort. He shows up when it matters. He remembers the little things that make your life easier. He follows through on what he says, not because he wants credit, but because keeping his word to you feels right. Psychologists call this behavioral commitment, the point where love moves from emotion to action. Feelings can be fleeting, but actions reveal intention. When a man's love is real, his choices begin to reflect your importance in his life. He plans around you. He makes time when he's busy. He doesn't say, I'll be there. He simply is. Love to him isn't a performance. It's a responsibility he carries with quiet pride. You'll notice it in how he supports you, not just during easy days, but through chaos and fatigue. He'll stand beside you when things get messy, when you're not at your best, when there's nothing glamorous about love. And that's where it counts the most. He doesn't promise forever. He proves it one day at a time. Real love isn't in constant declarations or poetic words. It's in the actions that whisper, you can depend on me. It's in the text that checks if you got home safe, the effort to understand your mood, the patience when you need space, the laughter he protects like something sacred. Anyone can promise love. But when a man's feelings are true, he doesn't just promise, and he practices love. Every gesture, every choice, every small act says more than 1,000 words ever could. Because in the end, love that's real doesn't need convincing. It shows up, quietly, consistently, and without needing to be reminded.